War. War never changes. In the year 1945, my great-great-grandfather,
Peggy 18.
Fallout 4 is a video game developed by Bethesda Game Studios and published by Bethesda Softworks. It is the 7th installment of the famous video game Fallout series. Fallout 4 was released on Microsoft Windows, PlayStation 4 and Xbox One on November 10, 2015 worldwide.
And the BAFTA for Best Game goes to... Fallout 4.
The fourth installment of Fallout series is considered one of the best games of the year, being nominated for a lot of prizes in the Game Awards 2015, such as Game of Year, Best Soundtrack, and Best Role Game.
Todd Howard and Bethesda Game Studios. And this is the first time Bethesda Game Studios have actually won the BAFTA for Best Game.
Initially in 2004, Bethesda Softworks licensed from Interplay Entertainment the rights to create and publish 3 Fallout games, such as Fallout 3, Fallout New Vegas, and Fallout 4. Later in 2007, Bethesda purchased the entire franchise and licensed back from Bethesda the rights to a Fallout MMORPG. In 2009, Bethesda Pete Hines said, "The whole reason we went out and acquired the license and that we now own Fallout is that we clearly intend to make more than one." He also added, "This is not something we're going to do once and then go away and never do it again. When that will be or how long, that will be God only knows. But we acquired it especially because we wanted to own it, beloved it, and work on it like we do with the Elder Scrolls."
I don't want to set the world on fire.
Development began right after Fallout 3 released in 2008. The game had minor development due to Skyrim being developed at the same time. After Skyrim was released in 2011, Fallout 4 became the primary project for Bethesda.
And that one is you, no other will do. I've lost all ambition for worldly acclaim.
The player is the sole survivor of Fallout 111, who emerges 210 years after the Greek War. The Greek War was a global thermonuclear war caused by the Sino-American War. That was a war involving the People's Republic of China and the United States as the two superpowers clash in a struggle to control the last remaining resources on the Earth. The Great War resulted in the destruction of all participating of casualties as a result of nuclear blast, exposure to radiation, and subsequent collapse of social and government structures. Mankind was set back several hundred years in a span of 2 hours. The nuclear holocaust was a direct result of the Sino-American War, a decade-long conflict that left both the United States and China exhausted. By 2077, a combination of attrition, loss of supply routes, and offensive conduced by the United States across the front left Chinese units in Alaska stranded and cut off from reinforcements. The liberation of Anchorage, a city in the state of Alaska, spearheaded by winterized T-51 Power Armor units under the command of General Constantine Chase, marked the end of the Anchorage reclamation. Prior to this, in the gameplay we got a brief period of the pre-war era, showing the player living with their spouse and child.
Not as a weapon, but as a nearly limitless source of power. People enjoyed luxuries once thought the realm of science fiction. Domestic robots, fusion-powered cars, portable computers. But then, in the 21st century, people awoke from the American dream. Years of consumption led to shortages of every major resource.
Please, bring my daughter home.
We've paid our dues in blood and bullets. This is our fight. Our island. Not yours.
The game takes place in Boston, Massachusetts, a local landmark like the Paul Revere Monument. Other notable locations that make an appearance in the game are Scully Square, renamed Good Neighbor, Bunker Hill, and Fenway Park, which renamed Damon City. The events in the game occur in 2287.
Given form in holy fog.
Don't shoot! I swear I'm not a synth, for God's sakes, for family!
The gameplay is largely similar to that of Fallout 3 and Fallout New Vegas, with the ability to switch from first to third person view. Additional features include a split base armor system, base building, a dynamic dialogue system, and in-depth crafting system makes use of every lootable object in the game as a source of raw material and more. Enemies such as mole rats, mirelurks, riders, super mutants, death claws, and ghouls return to the series. The player character, the sole survivor, access the in-game menus through a Pip-Boy. The Pip-Boy is a pre-war personal information processor, acts as a database for the world's personal information and inventory. Players can also find game cartridges with retro-themed minigames, which can be played on the Pip-Boy. Another returning gameplay feature is the Vault-Tec Assist Targeting System, or better known like BATS, which can play a critical part in combat. While using BATS on real-time combat is slowed down, an action is played out from varying camera angles in a computer graphics version of bullet time. Attacking in BATS cuts action points, limiting the number of actions available at a time. The game has a new equipment system, allows a wide variety of upgrades and customization for weapons and armor. Unlike the previous two Fallout games, weapons and armor don't deteriorate with use and no longer require constant maintenance. Also, the game has a new feature to the story's ability to build settlements. Within the boundaries of a settlement, players can scrap objects and structures for resources and use them to build their own structures, including housing, vegetable gardens, defensive stores, and crafting stations. Each settlements can also connect the others by bringing caravans with them shared resources. Towns can be powered with electricity using a dynamic power line system, as well as equipped with water pumps and crops gardens to keep a steady income of food and drink.
Have a stab at answering both of those.
Todd Howard revealed in August 2010 interview with Eurogamer that Bethesda was working on two projects. One had been in development for 2 years, beginning after Fallout 3 was released, and the other was still in pre-production. It is now known that Titanfall alone in development was The Elder Scrolls V Skyrim, while Fallout 4 was the title in pre-production.
Unfortunately, they tell him he's not allowed to know that.
T-minus 1 minute.
A countdown timer was set on Bethesda's Fallout website on Jan 2, 2015, expiring the next day at 10 o'clock AM ADT. On Jan 3, seconds before 10 o'clock, the Fallout 4 trailer was released on YouTube.
T-minus 30.
Fallout 4 launched successfully on November 10,
War.
2015, so at this time had sold 12 million units, that are the same as $750 million.
In the year 1945, my great-great-grandfather, serving in the army, wondered when he'd get to go home to his wife and the son he'd never seen. He got his wish when the US ended World War II by dropping atomic bombs on Hiroshima and Nagasaki. The the world awaited Armageddon. Instead, something miraculous happened. We began to use atomic energy not as a weapon, but as a nearly limitless source of power. People enjoyed luxuries once thought the realm of science fiction. Domestic robots, fusion-powered cars, portable computers. But then, in the 21st century, people awoke from the American dream. Years of consumption led to shortages of every major resource. The entire world unraveled. Peace became a distant memory. It is now the year 2077. We stand on the brink of total war. And I am afraid. For myself, for my wife, for my infant son. Because if my time in the army taught me one thing, it's that war never changes.